Do you agree or disagree with the odds makers? Because I heavily disagree, and I think it's actually kind of preposterous that at 40 years old, Robbie Lawler is a minus 125 favorite against the young gun Bryan Barberena, all of 33 years old, willing to get out there, bang, scrap, and bring the fight. I mean, what do you think?
I was expecting Lawler to be the favorite strictly because of his name, man. A lot of people sleep on Bam Bam, but we've talked about Bam Bam quite a few times, man, and still a lot of people sleep on it. This dude got absolute power, and this is the one fight of the night where I was back and forth, man. I didn't know which one to send when I was sending my picks and whether it was going to be Barberena or whether it was going to be Lawler. This one's going to be a scrap. I was expecting the favorite to be this way, but like I said, because of the name value that Robbie Lawler possesses, and this, and just all the stuff that comes with Ruthless, you know what I'm saying? Like, I expect him to be the favorite, but let's not forget, man, Barberena's been in the UFC since 2014, and he's fought, the who's who, the Sage Northcutt's, the Warley Alves, Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, Vicente Luque, Randy Brown. He's lost a lot of these fights, sure, but that just means this dude's an absolute dog and down to get in there. And I feel like this is one of those final, maybe not final, but one of those chances in which Barberena can prove that he's the real deal. He's a fighter to pay attention to. And if you can get one up on Robbie Lawler, that's a hell of a notch in the old belt. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fight where he can finally get the recognition that he deserves if he can get one over Robbie Lawler. Now, will it happen? I don't think so, but it is a fight. And if both people can walk in and have an absolute war, I think both stocks will jump up significantly. So it's going to be a good fight to watch either way. I don't know, Derek. What do you think? Is Barberena still being slept on? Am I making am I making too much of that, or what do you think?
Bryan Barberena, Bam Bam, is absolutely being slept on right here, brother. I get it, Robbie Lawler, ruthless, name value, all that stuff that you just mentioned, but Bam Bam is a dude who, listen, man, always pawn with that lead hand, setting up the jab, setting up the flurries, walking forward. If you back him up against the cage, he's circling out and putting it back on you, man. Like, this is a dude who knows how to bring the pain, but the originator of bringing the pain is truly Robbie Lawler, man, and that's what he's looking to do right now. Robbie Lawler is looking to press you up against the cage, get into some clinch situations, dirty boxing, throwing uppercuts, throwing big hooks, throwing knees, do whatever. But Bryan Barberena, I will let you know, he has nasty elbows out the clinch. So if it does get into that close range Robbie Lawler is there for, Barberena has some answers for him right there. And at the end of the day, my man, I think that the durability and the cardio is the thing that's going to hold up, that's going to give the victory edge to Bryan Barberena. Because Robbie Lawler, at 40 years old, man, he's brought it. But if you look at his last five, he's 1-4 in his last five. Losses to Rafael Dos Anjos, Ben Askren, which asterisk next to that one, right? Because that was a weird one. Colby Covington, Neil Magny, and then he gets the win against Nate Diaz. But let's not forget, even though he was having some success against Diaz, Diaz was picking him apart, bro. He was putting 5, 6, 7 shot combos on him. So that's the thing that I've noticed with Robbie Lawler, man. Robbie Lawler is a dude who, if you back him up, if you put him on the back foot and you start putting combos on him, there is really no longer the I'm going to slip the punch and I'm going to give one to you over the top. Oftentimes now what it is I'm going to shell up, I'm going to parry, and I'm just going to try to roll with the punches. I'm going to eat 5, 6, 7, 8 shots in a row. So it's going to like be you go, and then I go. You go, and then I go. And I think Bryan Barberena does not operate by that same type of methodology. It's going to be I go, I go, I go, I go until you do something back to me. So even though I find it a little hard pressed to find a finish here by either one of these fighters, like I think someone's going to sleep. I think someone could be going to sleep, but I also think these are two of the most durable men in the division to do it. This could very well go out as a decision. The only main problem I have, like I said, is that Bryan Barberena is underdog right now, and I'll even take a look at what the live odds are right now, like as we speak, courtesy of William Hill, Nevada, once again, right? And let's just take a look, man. Bryan Barberena is still plus 105, minus 125. Robbie Lawler, they're solidified, they're locked in, and that's totally cool, man. But if Robbie Lawler does get it done, what does he have to do, man? Because Bryan Barberena, southpaw, Robbie Lawler, southpaw. Robbie Lawler historically struggled against southpaws. What does he need to do to get the win?
Man, and that's the hardest part, I think, about breaking this whole fight down. Like, what's exactly going to happen? Are we going to see the back and forth, toe to toe that Robbie Lawler likes to do, where you go, I go, just like you're saying, or does Barberena take over? Because I mean, personally, I think Robbie Lawler's going to be in there. He's going to be working off, the timing, get in, slip a couple, bam, 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 and then let Bam Bam come back. I used the wrong words there. Let a couple combos fly, and then let Bam Bam come do his thing. But then when Bam Bam's kind of marching in, doing that, I see Robbie Lawler then like you said, turtling up, getting the hands high, shuffling off to the side, and then going back at it again. And I think it's just going to be this war of attrition that both fighters are going to have. I don't think one person, or at least if it goes the way I'm expecting, it goes, Robbie Lawler route, I don't think either fighter is going to have an entire round where they're dominating the entire fight. I think it's going to be very back and forth, a war game going on where both people are kind of, this is my toe in the sand. Don't cross it. If you do, we got knuckles flying. And I think that's the fight that's going to happen. Yeah. How do you see this one going?
Well, brother, I can see this playing out like how Matt Brown versus Bryan Barberena was. And it was just like that. There was no clear victor in either round, really. I guess until round 3, that was a Barberena round. But yeah, it's back and forth, man. It's going to be someone won this half, the other person won this half. How do you score it? I think it could be very much like that until we get to that round 3, where, like I said, I think the cardio and durability of Bryan Barberena is going to hold up just a tad bit more. But lastly, man, just real quick, just came in the back of my mind. Do you think Robbie Lawler shoots at all in this fight?
Ooh, I do actually. I didn't think about that till you said it. I do. I think Barberena has the kind of power where if you get tagged and you're kind of, you're shaking a little bit, you see things kind of start moving, you realize, oh shit. And Robbie Lawler, he can shoot to the hips, he can get down, and I think his ground game's a little bit better than Barberena. So I'm gonna say yes, he'll shoot. What do you think?
We did see Matt Brown control Barberena multiple takedowns in the last fight, so it's definitely something there. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Robbie Lawler, when he gets lulled into a war, He is a war maker. You know what I mean? That's what he does. And that's what we've known him to do. That's why we love Robbie Lawler. So let's talk props. TKO for Robbie Lawler is plus 355, plus 350 for Bryan Barberena. So Barberena has the slight edge for the TKO prop. For decision, though, this is the thing that surprised me. Plus 140 for Lawler, plus 235 for Barberena. And I think that's a little absurd because I think Barberena is the one who's going to get the better of Lawler if this does go the distance right here. What do you think, bro? I mean, how does it get done?
Yeah, no, that's very interesting because I was in the same boat as you. I was thinking if Lawler's going to get this one done, it's going to be by a finish. He's going to catch some, something to the body, hurting to the head. There's going to be some sort of TKO coming, and that's what I was expecting off the jump. And Barberena, if the fight goes long, I see him lasting a little bit longer. But now with that prop, what'd you say the decision was for Robbie Lawler?
Craziness, man. It's plus 140.
Plus 140. Yeah, I'm going to take that, man. I'm going to take the Robbie Lawler decision, plus 140. I was thinking KO, but plus 355. I mean, and honestly, I think both of these fighters can knock each other out, so it is a good route to take, but I'm taking that decision by Robbie Lawler. What about you, Derek?
You know what, man? I've been going back and forth. This has been the hardest fight of all of the main card bouts that we have. I'm like, does someone get finished here, or is they're so durable? We're just going to see that war, and I think that's what I have to lead towards. Like, I don't want to, because it's looking at 4 of the 5 fights so far, I'm going decision on all of them. I'm just like, imagine how boring it's not boring, but a pay-per-view where it's all decisions. You're like, oh, this is whack, man. There's got to be one finish at least, right? So even though that being said, it's 2.5 rounds for the over and under, I just don't see Robbie Lawler falling, and I don't see Bryan Barberena, who has been knocked out twice. Last one was to Randy Brown. It was a 3rd round loss, TKO punches. I just think Barberena, man, he's going to get the better of him. I think durability, conditioning is going to be too much. Decision, Bryan Barberena for me. Decision, Robbie Lawler for you, brother. So we'll see what happens there. But definitely a swing play for sure right here.